first thing we need to do is to use the journal. Let's use the journal. We go to task, journal entry, GL/interest. I told you can use anything as your interest, as your reference. /loan. So how do you post your interest? Let's start with the processing fee. How do you post your interest? You debit the processing fee will be put into the interest accounts. Let's check. Do we have interest accounts here? We have account that relates to interest. If we don't, we will need to create. And we have income tax, other tax expense. We need to create if we don't have it. Okay, this is interest income. Okay, finance charge. This is expense. This is income. It's always in the So if we don't have, what we need to do is to go to chart of accounts and create one for yourself. Let's see, where should we put it? Or we can replace one of these accounts. We can replace them. Let's replace this freight expense, 6,800. Let's create new. Can create new. Can do it self chart of accounts, interest, or we can say finance charge. Finance charge. Account ID. This is 680. So we need this interest expense, this freight expense. We want to replace it. We don't need to be creating another one. We can replace it. So we replace this freight expense with finance charge. I've explained in my other videos in this course how to maintain chart of account, to create chart of account. So you can go over it and check chart of account, check the course on the topic on chart of accounts, how to create chart of accounts. So you can see it now. I did not create a new one. I only replaced the freight expense to finance charge. That's what I just did there. What I used 6,800, which is for freight expense. I used it to replace it. So once I put 6,800, it brought out the freight expense, and now edit it. So all what I need to do is to save now. So when I save, I can now use the 6,800. So we are going to debit interest for the month. Interest for, let's say, October. Interest charge for October. Loan interest charge for October is 2,700. Now we are going to credit the bank, Access Bank. Loan is from Access Bank. Now you don't need to we are done with this now. Now you don't need to close this and do another one. We also have another entry we want to post, which is the loan processing fee of 3 million. So you don't need to we can do it inside one journal sheet. You understand? You can do it here. Same 6,800. loan processing fee. We call this one loan processing fee is of 3 million. You can see what we did here. We debited the expenses. Debit expenses. Don't go and credit expenses. Debit expenses. And we credit. You can see I did not even check it. I knew it is 10300 or 1030 for access. I just use that. By the time you start doing it, you master the chart of account. So sometimes you only know this is what this chart of account is. This is the code that represents this particular ledger. So you can see this loan processing fee. This is the loan interest charge for October. This loan interest charge will still continue, but this loan interest charge will continue throughout the duration of the loan. But this loan processing fee is a one-time charge against profits. So if you have checked the date, what date? I think the date is 31st, end of the month. So what is the next thing to do here? You check if the posting is right. The next thing for you to do is to save. Look at the posting once again. I debited loan interest and I also debited loan processing fee because they are an expense item. It's a charge against profit. And now I credited the bank. You can see here. But the bank will deduct from our accounts. That's why I credited them. So when you have checked and everything is fine, you save. Now after that, like I always do in my classes, I'll go to a report and form. I want this thing to master you, because by the time you watch my video, you see that every time I post transaction, I go to a report and form. I check my trial balance. Is it reflecting in my trial balance? Do we have any finance charge? You can see. This is it here. Told you earlier on that our trial balance will keep expanding the more we post. You can see it now. Please take a look at this.